right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on this great episode of your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, the demonic manifestations of the APC continue across Nigeria. A recent report revealed that 1,500 Nigerians were killed in the month of October alone. So, it is one thing to snatch and grab power. It is one thing to deceive gullible locals and buy their votes, but governance is a completely different ball game, and it is a game that the APC has failed woefully at. But who are the ones at the receiving end? It is the common man, and as long as the common man continues to directly or indirectly support corruption, this country will continue to fail, and it will eventually sink. The Inspector General of Police came out not too long ago to insult Nigerians. He stressed that Nigerians should focus on their responsibilities before criticizing government, linking governance to citizen participation and transparency. This is a total mockery of Nigerians, but we totally deserve it. Nigerians have taken several jabs, hooks and punches from the political class, and we have refused to fight back. So why won't they talk to us anyhow? And few hours ago, an international organization openly called out the failure of Tinubu's policies and how they have damaged the Nigerian economy. They openly compared what Tinubu is doing to what they are doing in other African countries, and they rubbished Tinubu. So, if anyone listening is still in doubt, this is no longer Ben Jokes talking about it. This is an international organization. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that, a very terrible update dropped out of Aso Rock. This update further confirms that the Tinubu administration has not only destroyed the economy of this country, they have absolutely no idea or clue on how to fix the situation, even if they wanted to. Before I show you details of that update coming out of Aso Rock and that stinging criticism of Tinubu's policies by international organization, let me quickly show you these videos. The first video here confirms the shamelessness displayed during the just concluded gubernatorial election in Ondo State. See the video.
Good morning. Good morning. What's happening here? But there's problem. I can see. What's happening?
There's no problem, sir. There's no problem, sir.
What's in your hand?
It's mine. It's not,
Talk to me. Bro, I'm a man. Talk to me.
There's no problem, sir. There's no problem.
But there's a problem.
There's no problem, sir.
What's the list here? Bro, what's the list here?
We are not fighting. We are not doing anything. We are not doing anything. We are not fighting. We are not doing anything. We are not fighting. We are not fighting.
No.
We are not fighting.
I know we are not fighting. I know we are not fighting. Man, calm down. I know we are not fighting. But at the same time, I'm not a baby, and I know what is happening here. You know what is happening here. You are a youth. I'm a youth. I know what is happening here. You also know what is happening here. You understand? So now you telling me that nothing is happening here. It's as if you are trying to fool me.
No.
You are buying votes here.
No.
You are buying. Bring the list. Bring that. Let me have that list. Let me have that list. Let me have that list. I'm on record.
We are not fighting.
We are not fighting.
I am addressing
you. I'm also addressing you. You are buying votes here.
No, we are not.
And I know.
We are not buying.
And I know you are buying votes here. You are buying votes here. You are buying votes here. See. You are buying votes. You are buying votes here.
You saw that. That was basically the shamelessness that took place in Ondo State yesterday. And Professor Victor Adetula, an election analyst for CDD West Africa, was one of the election observers. And this was what he had to say about what happened.
Yes, like you rightly noted in your prefatory remark, it's a day after the election. In relative terms, it's been peaceful. But the observed trends, quite worrisome and disturbing, both in respect of vote trading, vote buying, and of course, the considerably low turnout, which suggests a disconnect between governance and election, which makes it very, very challenging. So for me, we are not yet there. Even observing the processes, there have been very, very unpleasant development. We reflect low level in terms of electoral behavior generally.
You heard that. Now, the people of Ondo State, in their thousands, sold their votes to the APC. Not all of them, but a great percentage of them. Votes were sold between 10,000 to 20,000 naira. So for that chicken change, they mortgaged another 4 years of their lives. And this is exactly what I keep saying. You saw that video. Did you see any politicians there? No, just common men. The APC is only powerful because the people enable them. The sitting governor Ayedatiwa of the APC has been declared winner because the people, instead of kicking him out of office for enabling Fulani headsmen invasion in Ondo State, they sold their votes to him. This Ondo State is one of the states that is most hit by Fulani invasion in the southwest, and they had an opportunity to change leadership, but they decided to sell their votes. I will be here to mock them very soon. In less than 3 weeks, I am sure the people of Ondo State will begin to feel another catastrophic dimension of having an APC governor, and I will only laugh at them. We will be here. Next video here further proves that the Tinubu regime has completely dumped the relevant issues bedeviling this country, focusing on frivolities just so they can embezzle resources. Of all the major issues in Nigeria, the Tinubu regime is investing heavily into facilities that will be used to monitor earthquake and volcanoes when there is earthquake of hunger. See this video.
Director General of the Nigerian Space Research and Development Agency, Dr. Matthew Adepoju, said the project, which is a joint venture between NASDRA and the Shanghai Astronomical Center of China, will put the country on the world map of space research.
It's meant for monitoring of crustal movement. It's meant for monitoring of tectonic plate. And this is first of its kind in the continent of Africa. In recent time, we had issues in Impape in Abuja there, where so many people were panicking about the movement beneath the Earth's surface. So we have equipment like this to actually monitor what goes on deep beneath the Earth's surface.
You heard him. That was the Director General of NASDA. He said they want to be able to monitor what goes on deep beneath the Earth's surface. Now, the Tinubu administration wants to monitor what goes on deep beneath the Earth's surface. Have you monitored the things that are happening right on the Earth's surface? The things happening right on the Earth's surface are flying over your head, and you are talking about deep beneath the Earth. When the United Nations Food Program has just predicted that 33 million Nigerians will face hunger that could lead to death in 2025. But it is earthquake and volcano that we have never had in our history. Earthquake and volcano that we are not even prone to. Those are the things you are investing heavily in. And if you hear the billions of naira that will go into buying those equipment, you will shiver. Just about 5 days ago, this regime held a conference in Kwara State on how to stop open defecation in Nigeria. Of all the problems in this country, open defecation is what Tinubu is worried about. A country that is practicing open corruption is complaining about open defecation. Isn't it ironic? Today now they are talking about earthquake and volcano. Who caused this country like this? It's so pathetic. Now, let us look at those two updates that have become the major talking points in the Nigerian political media space. First is that stinging criticism of the Tinubu regime by IMF. And next is that disgraceful update coming out of Aso Rock. Let's start by taking that update from the IMF. We all know that the IMF initially had backed Tinubu's policies. They said it was the way to go. But seeing that doom is the destination of everything. They have now withdrawn. They are now criticizing the policies heavily, stating clearly that unlike some other African countries who embarked on reforms, Nigeria's own is failing woefully. Look at how the papers reported it. Reforms in Nigeria under Tinubu not working. Inflation still in double digits. IMF reports. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, in its latest Outlook report for Sub-Saharan Africa, has indicated that the broad-based economic reforms embarked upon by the Bola Tinubu-led Nigerian government are still struggling for a positive impact 18 months after commencement. The IMF report released on Friday categorically stated that Nigeria's reforms are failing to meet desired results. While the global body's report acknowledged a few countries that have recorded little success in reforms, it projected average economic growth rate in the region to remain at 3.6% for the full year 2024, but Nigeria's growth rate, put at 3.19%, is below this average. Presenting the report, IMF Deputy Director Catherine Patillo, who presented the report at the Lagos Business School (LBS), according to Vanguard, stated that macroeconomic imbalances in the region had started reducing with notable improvements in some countries, but she excluded Nigeria in the good news. She said more than two-thirds of countries have undertaken fiscal consolidation, with the median primary balance expected to narrow by 0.7% points alone in 2024, and these have included notable improvements in Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, and Zambia, among others. She added, inflation is still in double digits in almost one-third of countries, including Angola, Ethiopia, and Nigeria, and above target in almost half of the region, particularly where monetary policy is not anchored by exchange rate pegs. She stated, looking further at exchange rates, we do see that foreign exchange pressures have largely abated since the end of 2023, but Nigeria has recorded the worst exchange rate instability and local currency depreciation so far this year. The IMF report also highlighted the impact of debt burden on fiscal stability, listing Nigeria amongst the suffering countries. You heard that. Now, that was the IMF Deputy Director Catherine Patillo speaking right there in Lagos. Look at how she read that report of the IMF comparing Tinubu's reforms to other African countries, and they rubbished him. And if you recall, the IMF did back Tinubu's policies to the point that many Nigerians began saying the policies were handed to him by the IMF, an allegation that is still valid anyway. But today, the IMF is saying, unlike other African countries that embarked on reforms, Nigeria's own is failing woefully. And for me, the reasons are simple. There is no sincerity in Tinubu's reforms. Tinubu stopped paying subsidy on education and electricity only for him and his cronies to divert the money into frivolities like the earthquake and volcano monitoring facility we just talked about. How can a regime that reduced subsidy on energy that is necessary for production be investing in SUVs, jets, and building of presidential lodges? It just does not add up. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that report from the IMF, that disgraceful update came out of Aso Rock. In this update, Tinubu, having totally lost control of the economy, has now sent his wife REMI Tinubu to go and begin begging market women not to increase prices of goods as the Yuletide approaches. Look at how the papers reported it. Tinubu's wife REMI begs market women not to increase food prices as Yuletide approaches, reporters. REMI, wife of Bola Tinubu, has urged Nigerian market women to avoid hiking food prices as the festive season approaches. She made this appeal in Ebonyi State while addressing women during the 2024 Women's Day celebration at the Pa Ngele Oruta Township Stadium, Abakaliki. With the Yuletide season fast approaching, REMI Tinubu appealed to market women to refrain from unfair hikes in prices of food items during the festive season, said Busola Kukoyi, her media aide, in a statement on Saturday. Nigeria has everything it takes for us to be a great nation, she said during an interaction with Ebonyi traditional rulers. Oluremi Tinubu commended Governor Francis Nwifuru for exceeding 35% female representation in appointments, announcing his plan to empower 130 businesses with 1 million naira each. You heard that? This is so ridiculous. Tinubu's wife begging market women not to increase prices of goods. And she even used the word fair. She said there should be fair. The same woman that has spent close to R1 billion on touring the world this year alone is talking about fairness. I can't remember the amount released for her to change her cars, but it was a ridiculous sum. Same person is begging poor market women to be fair. 3 days ago, she was organizing a national prayer for the economy. Today, she is begging for the economy. But sadly, economy does not respond to propaganda. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Abdulrahman says, someone uses thousands of naira to buy fuel and transport his goods to the market, and you are telling the seller not to add the cost to the prices because you don't want the price to go upward. Does that make any sense? Well, it only makes sense to somebody who supports APC, because I don't see any sense here. You are dishing out every kind of unfairness to the people, and you are asking a market woman who is trying to survive to be fair. It is not you who should be fair. And this tweet here by Olorogun says, economic indices do not respond to pleas. Inflation has no feelings. They do not succumb to prayers either. That is it. Because the other day you gathered people with Nuhu Ribadu, the National Security Advisor, that you wanted to pray, even though you came out to deny it when the uproar became so much. You wanted to pray for the economy. Now you are begging for the economy. All these things don't work. You have no clue. You have no clue. And Emmanuel Ebiloma here says, just imagine, 2027, we the people will definitely show you what we are made of. You said Nigerians are lazy, don't want to work, always begging for money. Don't worry, that will change in 2027. Nonsense. Ebiloma is angry here. And Tawhid Adebayo here says, why didn't you beg your husband not to increase taxes, tariffs, fuel price, and some other things that was increased and will still be increased? Balema, he said, you are having problem with your brain, ma. And Tunde Alobe here says, another ridiculous statement. Market women will sell based on what they buy. She should rather beg Oga to open the border, implement the import duty waiver he promised Nigerians, and bring the exchange rate down. We have even forgotten about the import levy waiver they promised, that they were going to remove import duties on the major goods that Nigerians import. You know, the major goods that Nigerians consume that we import. That when they remove the import duties, prices will crash. And everybody said, hey, at least let them do this one so that Nigerians can, enjoy a little bit. But we doubted it here. We said these people are too greedy to do something like that. Now, I even forgot to talk about it. If not for this comment now, they never did it. And they are never going to do it. Anything that will give the people peace, these guys can never do it. And Adeleke Adekombi here says, the problem is that all these people get everything on a platform of free. Feeding free, cars free, money free, health insurance is free, clothing free. Now tell me, how come such person will understand the cry of an hungry man? The APC has no business understanding the cries and tears of hungry Nigerians, and I can say categorically that they actually enjoy the tears of Nigerians. You can clearly see that in their policies. When their representatives come on air to speak, you can see their disdain for the Nigerian people. What sector has the APC not destroyed? Look at the educational sector, is in shambles. School fees increasing every day in all our tertiary institutions across the country. What institution have they not grounded? The police, the judiciary, all in their pockets. And if they were doing all these just so they could grab hold of power and just embezzle money the way the PDP was doing, I would not even have much problem. But these ones are after destroying the very soul of this country, as if they just want to ground the country, make everybody just go sleep. I still cannot lay my hands on the reason why they want to totally finish this country, but I can see clearly that that is what they are doing. And this is how it is going to continue until the people say no. It is the people that will rise up and say no if they desire to have a country in the near future, because believe me, it is not going to be long before these guys will completely destroy this country. So if Nigerians desire a country, all this selling of vote 10,000, 20,000, you think you can use that one to go and buy food and hold yourself for the meantime, this country is sinking. A time will come where you will even hold money in your hand, there will be nothing to do with it. That time where everybody go down turn slave finish. And one way to avoid it is to come together, unite, put our differences aside, and kick the APC out of power. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because now because of una, now I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go.